Hello everyone, this is Model Gaming Show, episode 50 for the week of November 4th, 2018. I'm your host, GWFawkes. The past few days have been particularly shocking for me personally, as both a mass shooting and still blazing wildfires have devastated my hometown in Southern California. I've spoken extensively in previous episodes about gun violence and really only want to reiterate how senseless it is and how much cowardice goes into an act like that, especially when taking the lives of young people. All we can do is keep trying. The fires are still raging and have not really been contained that much, and many of my friends and family members have had to evacuate. These are really trying times, and all I can really do is reflect on how fortunate and lucky I've been in my time on this planet. And I'm as determined now as I ever have been, and I want to continue to do this and turn this show into something special. I want to keep trying hard. With that being said, please indulge me tonight as I wax nostalgic and reflect on my 50th episode. My first show was October 19th of 2017, and it's really hard for me to believe that I've knocked out 50 of these things. When I began, I had these grand ideas of what I could accomplish, and they were immediately curved into something much simpler. Over the past year, I've changed my outset, mindset, and goals many, many times. And I think I've settled into a good, reasonable groove for the show. I have a few changes that I want to make by the new year, and I'm still tinkering with what I stream and how often. Streaming has been the most difficult aspect of this to balance because of the time commitment, and it is something that it is continuously changing for me. After I'm finished streaming Red Dead Redemption 2 story missions, I'm going to really reevaluate what I want out of streaming and plan on making big changes for the new year. It's truly been a constant struggle to balance my job, streaming, writing and producing this show, and being active on both Twitter and Instagram. And I'm still figuring all that out over 1 year later. After speaking with a close friend about both of our lives now, like where we're at currently, he reminded me of a great saying that I will do my best to keep in mind and wanted to impart. He said, "I'm looking for progress, not perfection." And as someone who's evolved and changed drastically throughout my life, it's a great mantra to hold on to. And that's what I promise for you, dear viewer. I want to keep progressing and making the show better and continue to make my streams more engaging for viewers. Moving on, it's been a fairly slow news week, but there are two things that I want to discuss briefly. First, Square Enix reported a $33 million loss in revenue this year, despite releasing both Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Project Octopath Traveler. Furthermore, the remaining 4 pieces of DLC for Final Fantasy 15 have been slashed to 1, with the rest being canceled. The current director of the game, Tetsuya Nomura, announced his retirement, announced this along with his resignation from the series. Frankly, if it weren't for Square Enix's extensive back catalog, they'd be in serious financial trouble. Final Fantasy 15 was mismanaged terribly, and I'm honestly shocked that they released Shadow of the Tomb Raider in the most crowded fall calendar I've ever experienced in video games. That game was bound to be lost in the shuffle, and it certainly appears that it has been, as less than 2 months after release, the price was only cut to $30 in half, and it got review bombed because of that. Second, as reported from Kotaku, on a recent earnings call, Activision said they're unhappy with Destiny 2 sales. It's not really a wonder to me, as Destiny 2 has sold less than the first, as they basically tried to have their cake and eat it too. They tried to make Destiny 2 more appealing to newcomers, and in turn they alienated their hardcore fan base, right? And while Bungie has gone a long way to fix Destiny 2, it's burned a lot of bridges in the process. I mean, Destiny was planned on being a 10-year ongoing franchise, and at just over 4 years, interest looks like it's starting to seriously wane. And at its current rate, I can't see it lasting more than 5 for significant updates. The only new week released this week is Tetris Effect, which currently has a 90 on OpenCritic, and unfortunately for me is only available on PS4 and PSVR. Check it out in PSVR, it's supposed to be cool. So that's going to be it for this episode. You can catch me every Sunday night, 7 p.m. for this show, twitch.tv/modelgamingshow. That's Pacific Standard Time. And still, you can catch me Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for streams. I'm still doing Red Dead. I'm trying to make my way through that as much as I can. I'd appreciate any follow as well. And if you're there, talk. Anytime you see me, I'm down to talk while playing and engage. I love it, actually. That's a big reason why I keep doing the streams. So you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, GWFawkes. This is 50th episode. It's crazy, and I hope you stick around if you're watching for another 50. Thanks, and have a good night.